What's going on?
So what's up?
And we live.
Like we're live.
Hey, it's been a long time coming.
Yes.
You want to
Yeah.
be honest?
Welcome back, everybody. This is Legacy of Ours. We are your hosts, Nelson, Drew, and of course me, myself, Nito. So it has been a while, right, Nelson?
Oh yeah, it has most definitely been a while. We got a lot of things going on in our lives that people can't really comprehend, but then we're here to put the pieces and puzzles together to make sure that everybody understands. You hear me? So, look, the legacy of ours is big, and it is what it is.
Yeah, we're only
So,
getting bigger. So,
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the things that we want to do is just update the people on what's going on. We haven't been on for quite some time now. So, I just got out of the army, moved back to St. Louis, Missouri, where I basically grew up. Right now, my wife and I are looking for a house. We're looking in an area that I'm not going to disclose. So,
Yeah, they go come after your ass. You see a lot of
You
random
know?
shit
Yeah,
on you.
yeah.
Motherfuckers. They got some aggression on your ass. Yeah, don't give them no information.
No,
Please don't.
you said enough when you said St. Louis. They look now.
right, yeah. So we're gonna keep that on the hush. But other than that, I've been enjoying my time here. Obviously, I've gotten a little bit of a thing on my face. Um,
Is that dirt? I
it's a
don't.
little dirt. It's a little. I was digging a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but work wise, I'm not really looking for a job right now. I'm just trying to kick it, enjoy the time with the family and stuff, and basically have that vacation that's not a vacation. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
just enjoy the summer.
Yeah.
You know. So what about you guys?
Well, I guess I'll go. I leave in November, so I can't wait to go back to Georgia. Oh man, it's gonna be
Really?
yeah.
Really?
I leave.
Like it's
Yeah,
like y'all don't feel like this connection with it. I guess y'all been in it for a minute. So it's like trying to when you like kind of break free. I figured y'all would like, I don't want it to go type shit because you lived that life for so long.
I'm ready to go, homie.
Yeah.
No, like this place. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're an outdoorsy person and you're actually, you resourceful and you know how to use it to your advantage, uh, this place is for you.
Right.
I'm from
Right.
Decatur, Georgia, home.
Yeah, not you.
Nah,
It's the opposite of you.
I'm about done.
Yeah.
But no, it's one of those. It's a revelation knowing that you're about to leave. Like
Yeah.
even if I'm not going back to Georgia, say if I'm going somewhere else, it's just a good feeling, like knowing like, hey, this is a new place.
Right.
Like,
Right.
how can I make my stamp here in this place? And
Yeah.
just like the name, what legacy will I leave behind?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. I
it,
figured
it's
that would be something like rough because, like, yeah, the service is your career. Then
yeah,
you're going back to a normal life, if you will, and then now you got to figure out like okay, what am I gonna do now? Like, what path am I gonna take? Because the military was my path. I mean, obviously, you lived and breathed it every day. You know
but
what I
that's the
mean?
journey,
So, yeah, yeah.
and it's beautiful because you never know
Well, it's
what
like
time.
living. I feel like it's like living multiple lives. Like, oh, I did this from a part of my life, and that career is over. Now I'm doing something else. When most people, it's like when they get into something, they have to stick with it. Because if they don't, either that's a pay cut or they don't get nowhere if they leave because they don't have like credentials. So it's like you pick a path and you stick with it because it's more risky. Whereas in your situation, yeah, you live this life serving your country, right? And then now it's like, yeah, now I can go figure out what else to do, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong at all. It's all about the unknown and how
right.
well you can survive in the
Yeah.
unknown.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
if you always look on the surface, you will never find what's deep.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
true.
My bad. Welcome back to the legacy of ours.
Just messing.
That's true. Well, besides going to Georgia, like what do you plan on doing?
So, honestly, man, I'm just back. I'm just glad to be back home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of
really
like how you feel, right?
I really don't care what I do. Hopefully, I'm on the airborne community side, like actually instructing. But we'll see how that plays out. You know how the army likes to fuck people. So, but anyways,
Really? I figured y'all would get like a better going out. It's like, oh yeah, like since you worked here, you get better you get first picks on shit. I mean, I figure like things would.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
really?
nothing like
That's
that.
fairy tale, huh? That's what they want you to think.
That's that. Hey, you want to sign up for the army? We'll give you a Camaro.
Yeah.
There's
So-
consequences behind all that. So
Yeah, it's more like a Kia. They're like, hey, what the fuck? I said he said a Camaro, man. Yeah, I get
yeah,
it.
I promise you something, and then don't. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try and talk about the government
Right.
like, me. Like, please don't. I'm just an
They're like, we
innocent
watching you, motherfucker. We
Yeah,
watching
bystander. But
Yeah.
like that's what's going on right now. In the works of moving, in the works of trying to get children in school, and the wife is going to college. So that's a big praise, and I have to give her a big round of applause because
Yeah.
not a lot of spouses in the military actually
Yeah.
try and make something. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I do have to do a big shout out to my wife on that one. So like, yeah, it's all coming together, man. Like it's pretty much my life right now. So
Let me ask you a question. So in the service, do y'all find that there are a lot of families that stay together, or are there still a lot of divorces, like separations?
That
Like,
that depends on the area.
really?
So
yeah,
all right.
That's
So
crazy.
say you're first or the 82nd or something. It's an extremely big organization.
Mhm.
Now there's going to be a lot more people there with a lot higher speed guys, and a lot of the people there are going to be pretty young and pretty like high strung. You know what I'm saying? So testosterone levels seem to be a lot higher there than anywhere else, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I don't know. I agree to disagree,
okay.
and the only reason why is I agree with what you said as far as like a lot of places have their own culture,
Right.
but also it's on the man or the female.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so I don't think that it's just where you are at right now or
Mhm.
how. I
Now,
honestly really think it's the underlying issue inside that actually makes that happen.
now
Because
let me ask you a question, and this is just from an outsider like myself, and I'm just asking: do you find that you have a lot of soldiers and intermingle with themselves that cause up this drama in families and shit? Or is it you think it's like when they I already see your face. I'm just or did because you guys go and travel, right? Do you guys ever go by yourselves, or does your family always go away with y'all? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when it's like within training and stuff, it's all
Yeah.
about us ourselves and stuff, and then obviously we're leaving our families behind.
Right.
But like Nelson said, I mean, I got to give it up to my wife because she's never cheated on me. That
Right.
you got to be headstrong.
Yeah, you have to be, because you guys as soldiers are dealing with just the everyday thing, and then you may not be there emotionally with your women at that time, so it's
Yep.
hard on them, but it is hard on you too, because you dealing with, like, you don't realize what I just saw yesterday, and you got to deal with that and process that, and then you're not at home. Really, you may be at home, but you're not really at home.
Yeah,
You're like,
there. Yeah,
wow.
you still got stress in your head and stuff, especially whenever you're an NCO and stuff,
Mhm.
or even I wouldn't say just an NCO. I just say in a leadership position because there's
Right.
a lot of really good men and women out there that become a leader in such a young life in their career and stuff that sometimes they're not ready to deal with that shit. I mean, it gets to a point where we're not necessarily babysitting, but
you're babysitting.
you're babysitting, yeah. And these are
Yeah,
grown ass
yeah,
men,
you're
like they
babysitting.
can make choices for themselves, and yet
Right.
higher leadership is expecting you to be there every step for your soldiers, including your family, and then it's your fault whenever that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he hit a nail on the head.
Wow.
So yeah, it definitely got to be a headstrong individual, especially the spouse side,
Yeah. Yep.
because otherwise they're not gonna make it. We got some technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
my
Uh-oh.
bad, homie.
Chris messing with the wiring again.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I gotta get the scissors.
Did you
It is what it is. There we go. We back.
There we are. Have you
It just
heard
slipped
that old folks' homes are like whorehouses? Have you heard that?
Old
Oh
folks.
my.
Yes. Look it up. Look it up. I've heard. Oh, I mean, I've heard that they say they all, in there. The life is, coming. They all do that. They all been fucking around. Look it up. I've heard that.
So I will ask you this in an asterisk of what you're asking. So have you had any preparation? In an asterisk of what you're have you guys ever thought about like the time that I do be 60? Like, what am I gonna do? Or if my children are gonna put me in one of these homes, and just like how you said, like you just researched it and found that out. Like,
Right.
how do you think? How do you think that's gonna feel when you're just in that situation?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
You know, it's funny that you asked that question. Is that I always joke with my parents ever since I was in high school or something. I always joke with my parents like, as soon as you hit that age, I'm throwing your ass in a and obviously it's always a joke, and I always take care of my parents because they've always my family and I. But it's just funny that you brought that up, and then like literally a couple of days ago, we drove by a senior center or something like that.
Yeah.
And I looked at my wife and I looked at my dad and we're like, hey, look, you better be ready.
Your dad will beat your ass if you ever think about it. Like, he is stout. I don't know if I don't know, man. I don't know if he'll let you do that. So like, however you do it. But I don't think he'll let you do that shit. He'll be like, no, I'm not going for it. I guarantee.
It's funny. It's funny. Like, but going back to what Drew said.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
but
a little bit of excitement, but and then they've seen the world. I mean, what else they got left going on? I think they were saying that it was like the STD rates are high. I think that's what I read. I was actually going to Google.
I'm glad you brought that up. And I would pose a question on this one as well. So with the STD rate being higher than it was like 10 years ago, like what do you think the contributors are to that? Is it because us as parents aren't giving them the XYZ talk?
Yeah, I never got it. I never got that.
Like we're just letting them
do
what the fuck they want to do. Like how like which, or is it in the middle? Like
I think it's more. People are exposed to so much shit now, whether it's media or even just like books and shit. Everything's a lot more open, and it like obviously kids are willing to spend.
Yeah.
This is the parents' fault. Explain them.
Right.
Yeah,
it's on.
Or
now, what do you think of just like it being just a parent so uncomfortable that they can't even face that talk? You know what I mean? Because like I never got that talk. Like I don't think, and for me, growing up, so we grew up Baptist and shit and whatnot. Not that matters, but like it was like very strict. My mother was, my dad wasn't in the picture, and so sex was like very demonized. I mean, obviously it's sex, but if you think about it, Maddie would tell me this. She's like, well, God gave us that for pleasure. I mean, it's not something that like is wrong. Obviously, there's ways of doing it clearly that is wrong, but just the actual act of sex is actually, it's very natural, right? So for me, it's like my mother would never talk about that. And so we never had that talk because she didn't want to associate, especially me, a young boy growing up in New York City. You know, as soon as I figured shit out,
New York. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, then I'll be home with, you know, STDs and shit. Still fucking, but my mom never told me about it. Yeah.
To be honest with you, like I think it's one of those things is where like we're not doing. I think we're not doing our part.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I wouldn't say parents, but just adults in general. Like we see wrong, but we don't correct it.
Yeah,
like we see it and we're like, that ain't my fucking problem. Because the whole saying is like, hey, it takes a village to raise a child. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and now that's just disappeared.
Yeah,
And now people are just sitting there and just watching, knowing they're doing wrong.
Yeah,
but don't take the time to actually like, hey, come here real quick. Let me talk to you about this, and actually correct that action. So that
I agree with that, because if you think about it, it's like all having the same type of mindset versus like you teach a kid one thing, but yet you're sitting in school and all the other parents don't think the way you do. And so now they're hanging out, now they're conflicted versus having people with the same mindset. And then they're around your kids, and their kids are starting to fall in line with your beliefs because you all kind of have the same, you know, thought process as far as parenting. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I think we help each other when we kind of do the right thing with them. You know what I mean? And that's talking to them.
And I don't know. I'm not trying to get into politics or anything like that because that's not my.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah.
Who you voting for, Trump or Camilla?
It's Kamala.
But I really do think that like we as not even don't care what derogatory or what demographic or what white, black, yellow, orange, pink, purple, like we see something happening, we don't correct it. So like I think as a people we need to come together and actually correct those misunderstandings.
Right.
Not to the point where you have to be like, I'm gonna bring out my motherfucking belt if you don't. No, like actually giving them advice and from the tail of your tail.
Yeah.
Down to give them, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that's lacking in today's world right now, because you go back to the fucking 50s. Think about it. Like you knew everybody on that block. I'm not saying I was born in the 50s, but this is just from a tale that you know, my grandmother told me. But like everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like the community was thriving because
dude, it's crazy.
And they were like, nah, we're not doing that. I know your mama. I know your grandma.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not letting you do that.
They say like technology really fucked us up. It really did. Even we talked about like divorces and marriage and shit. Think about it. Like the divorce rate was not high back in those times. You know, as like the 2000s and dating apps start coming in, you could have a man, and obviously you have way more options now. Like your phone, you can meet a bitch, you know, down the street in a different state, whereas before you couldn't do that. You know what I mean? And so like now with having a phone, like anybody can go and download a dating app and look at the people around you that you may be interested in. There was just a thing of it's I forget what it's called, something Adams. It's where married couples or married people can cheat and they keep everything a secret and shit like that. So like now, like even that, like you didn't have options back then to even look at anybody else. Like you said, you know everybody.
I'm fucking with you. My bad. I'm fucking with you.
I gotta check my notifications.
They're having 50% off right now. Sign up.
We don't recommend that.
No, we fucking with you. But yeah, like it's different. Like you didn't have a lot of that because you didn't have so many options. You were there and you were like supposed to make it work. And now things are way different now. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. It scares me though. So I work with like some younger kids are getting hired up. And they're all on dating apps. And it's like they're like it's cool because you can see what's out there, but it's not it doesn't really feel nothing because it's like you swipe on somebody and you may meet up with them, but they're only, you know, and then there's this fear of like getting set up for dudes. Like one dude said that he went and he was gonna meet this broad and like she had other dudes.
Female.
this
Female.
female. They had this female there, and she was gonna jump him. She had other dudes waiting to jump him. So it's like it's terrifying. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm glad I'm not really, we're not living that. Yeah,
That-
it's
yeah.
wild. That's
And
wild.
it sounds like a single life is crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh man.
But it's worth it, I guess.
Right? It's exciting though.
Yo, but these companies making a killing off these people because then you pay to like boost your shit. And it's like, yeah, it's wild.
What?
Yeah, you boost your profile, dude. So more people see you.
Boost your pro.
Yeah.
For people to see you.
Yeah, dude. You're paying $25. A friend of mine, he kept downloading it and deleting it, downloading it because he always failed. Like he couldn't find anybody. And
Why don't
so
you
I don't
to a
know.
girl just out on the street, just be like, "Hey, how are
They're
you
too
doing?"
yeah,
What's your name?
they're too
What-
scared, man.
Ooh.
Man, times have changed.
No, so with that, I pose another question. I'm sorry. I love controversy.
Yeah.
With the amount of kids nowadays, or even adults now, because we about damn near 30 and a plus at this point. How do you figure that it got to this point? Like, why are individuals scared of, one, confrontation, two, being rejected, and three, expressing the emotion of being either rejected or accepted?
I
Right
think
now-
at least this is my opinion and stuff. I think it's us, the parents, that are failing the kids
Yeah.
to interact, right? And the only reason why I say that is because when they start as a baby and stuff, we give them so much, and we don't allow them to fail or figure things out, like learning how to like tie their shoe. I mean, obviously you're gonna teach them how to tie their shoes, but
No, dude, there's more Velcro shoes out there. There are literally more Velcro shoes. I'm not bullshitting. Go ahead. But
okay,
it's
yeah,
changing.
there you go. There's another process.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts, man.
I mean, even like telling them to like put like the squares into the little toy things and stuff. Like
Or
we
like
don't
the blocks
give
and shit.
them, the little blocks and shit. Like we don't give them those kind of toys anymore, or like just like things that they can fail in like a little bit, but they still have to figure it out because they have the capabilities to do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't know if that made any sense, but
No, it did. No, it did. Like basically, we don't give them cognitive things that they need to actually stimulate their mind to make sure they understand what failure is.
Right.
But
Yeah.
bringing them back and being like, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
gonna be all right. Like,
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
sports, everybody gets a trophy now.
Oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a trophy. Oh, it's okay that you suck, Timmy.
Right. Yeah.
Trophy.
That's why I've heard I've heard Ben Shapiro say this too. And other people that like bullying is not great, but something about like obviously bullying to the extreme is not good. Someone should intervene, but they say it's something good to kind of power through and deal with as a family until it becomes, because you're going to have conflict in life and everybody wants to take it away. Like you said, they don't give you the same learning blocks to be successful in certain areas, like just in life. So everyone's a little sensitive. And now with the schooling and everything, they're like all made to be like, the way you feel. Exactly. It makes you, then you can't handle shit like that. And then so you kind of go through that path of just always feeling victimized and you can't break through shit. Like dealing with bullying and shit, but there is a little bit of a learning process to it.
Yeah.
No.
Like every problem, like you don't know how to handle it.
Right.
But I think that's, and like I said, and I'm gonna go back to like that's where we as people fail, because everybody seems like they need to have a trophy, like Nieto said, or they need to be recognized. No, if you lost, you lost.
Right.
Like, I mean, take it in stride, hold your head up, chin up, and go about your day. Try a little bit more, and go out there and do it again.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Learn to work on your weaknesses, because you lost this time, but doesn't mean you can never win. You know what I mean? It's like you have so many more options to be a better version of you. And can you think about all the great people, athletes out there that have failed, and then they have that one person that inspired them to continue to do it, and the thing is they don't quit. But yeah, you got to fail to know that, okay, I'm doing something wrong so I can be one of the greats. You know what I mean? So
it is what it is at the end of the day. But I also, just my internalization of just me in general, and what I try to speak to the kids is that you're not a failure if you didn't succeed. It's just a lesson learned for the next time around, so you can make that path to succeed. I mean, a lot of people probably just gonna say different. Be like, no, like you said, Timmy, no, he needs to know what winning feels like. No, if he wants to know what winning feels like, then fucking win.
Right. Yeah. You have to know what it takes to win first. It's like you got to learn that path to win. So then you get the reward is like, okay, the reason why I'm gonna win is because I'm gonna stay at the gym longer than the other guys, or like I'm gonna learn work on my technique more than the other guys. So like there is that lesson in winning that maybe Timmy didn't get yet because he's not as dedicated. And if you're not as dedicated to it, like we're gonna be dedicated to this podcast and working through it, we're gonna deal with things that are gonna be up and down. But when we do it and we learn it, that's the reward. But you have to fail at it. And so, but I think a lot of us, even internally as men, even now, that we like, I know I do sometimes struggle with, the failure aspect of it. And it does hold you back because it makes you feel like how shitty you are as a person, especially like if you're really not feeling great about yourself, you always have these negative thoughts about yourself. So then, when you fail, it's like, look at you, you idiot. You can't even do this, so even we deal with it. But we got to do different in teaching the kids of how to like deal with it where it doesn't hold us back. I think that's a huge thing.
That's definitely huge. I mean, I think it's just us parents just trying to keep the kids happy too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know it, and like you said, it sucks knowing that feeling of failure.
Right.
But then that feeling of failure is going to make you succeed. So
right.
So when is pushing enough to make sure that
I don't think there isn't enough.
Yeah.
So it's just that feeling like, well, I mean, what's technically the definition of enough? Like, what is the possibility? What is the possibility of like, where is your limit? It's everybody's different from that, right? So my limit is completely different from your limit. But what is that limit? Like, are we talking about just like our bodies completely failing, or our minds completely failing, or
I'm just talking about as not you necessarily or you, Drew. I'm talking about like when is enough when we're like pushing our children, like, hey, you need to go out there. Hey, this is what it takes to succeed. Or hey, this is like when you look in, like I would say, your child's face, and you can obviously see that maybe he or she is like exhausted, but you're like, no, you got more in you. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when is enough for them?
Until they start throwing up. When they're blue in the lips. I'm sorry. I had to lighten up the mood.
Hey, you spoke your mind.
All right, man.
I mean, obviously you can, your kid, right? You're gonna know the feelings. You're gonna know when they're just over it.
Yeah.
Now that at that moment you can just be like, all right, let's cut it short. I see you had enough. Yeah. But it's that process of where like, all right, we're gonna continue to go though.
Do you believe in guiding your children in a certain thing? I know some people like have this thing where like, oh, don't force them to do this because they may not like it. But do you believe in like putting them in things that they may not like, but they know they have value for them? For example, putting in, most people prefer to put what girls in dance or swimming, and I would prefer to put Alice in like gymnastics, because if you take gymnastics as a kid, you learn about your body, you learn your grip strength, you learn how to move your body, how to stretch and everything, versus doing what the norm is doing like dance and doing like swimming or soccer. You know what I mean? Like putting them in a position where it would benefit. Some people don't believe in pushing them and making them choose what they want. But what do you think about that?
Well, to me, I always put my kids on stuff that they hate.
Mhm.
Like for example, I entered my kids into mixed martial arts,
Okay.
um, and not necessarily just like karate or anything like that. Like it's
I thought about that too.
true striking and stuff, so that way they can feel not necessarily like actual fear, but feel that nervousness in them. Like put them in a situation where they're not used to.
So
Um,
being in uncomfortable situations to make them
and
comfortable when the situation arises.
Yeah.
that
That's
that
good.
I my I put my daughter in gymnastics. You know, where she's not necessarily scared of heights, but she's never actually been in it, being uncomfortable and stuff. And now she loves it. She doesn't.
Yeah.
She don't want to get enough of it.
Yeah.
So that kind of backfired on me. But but I even told her, I was like, "Look, you're gonna learn how to fight, so we're gonna put you in boxing."
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Oh shit,
You
that's
know what
crazy."
I've noticed? Like, so I have 4 kids, right? And
Damn.
two, I know, and I got one on the way. And I'm
Woo!
kidding. I'm kidding. She does.
God.
She does though. She wants another one. And I'm like, you're fucking nuts. We got to try to send these kids to college, or hopefully they build some other type of career. I'm like, girl, can y'all make videos or some shit? Those people that put their kids in those little YouTube videos, they make a shit ton of money.
Feet pics.
Our OnlyFans gonna take off. Yeah.
Hey, man, there's these things called, like to protect yourself. I forgot what that was called, but
Yeah, me too. Clearly, I don't know what that is. So I got 2 kids from my previous marriage. Okay. Speaking on your daughter and her doing something like that, and like boxing, I would love Lacey to do that. She's the eldest. I can see a difference in her living with her mom versus living with me, because she's not very, like, she doesn't have that want to be athletic. She's an artist, and I can just see the difference versus, I think, if doing the divorce there was this long separation. I feel like if she was with me, I would push more of, trying this, trying that. But
Yeah.
now she just turned 13, so it's really hard at 13 to really get a kid into something. You know what I mean? So it's so much better to start her young, because I told her, actually my mom recommended this, that all the girls in the family try to take up like a boxing or like self-defense, and she don't want to do it. Lacey doesn't want to do it. I'm like, but you don't understand, like you're hitting somebody, like it should be fun. You know what I mean? Like learning how to throw jabs and whatnot, but she's not about it. But I can definitely see the difference in like homes. That makes a difference.
I know,
You know?
but that's crazy though, because my I'm not saying that my boys aren't men or anything, but my boys don't want to be in boxing or striking or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me upset, because when I was growing up, all I wanted was to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You're like, I want you
I was-
motherfuckers to
I
be
was-
like David Goggins. Both
I
of you
was the
motherfuckers.
smallest. I was the smallest one out of all my friends, and I always
yeah,
wanted.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I seen those pictures. It was like, where do I go? And like, I was like, oh man.
That's not true. No, but like I'm being serious. Like for example, in high school and stuff, I was graduating high school. I was 100 pounds soaking wet.
Really?
Yeah, everybody else and all my friends and stuff were like 150 plus. But I always wanted to fight. I always wanted to uh, play sports against them. I always wanted to play football. Like anything contact, anything that can show dominance and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to do.
Oh, I know. I don't remember that. You remember? I was like, "Hey, let's go do something. Let's play basketball." I don't know why I asked you to play basketball, and motherfucker, you were like trying to cross me up and do some crazy. I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, you ain't getting no medal for this. Like, you're very competitive. And I was like, holy shit. I said, I would never do this again. Like, you completely ruined basketball for me because I suck. But you know what? I had to lose. If I want to get better, I would go out and get better. But yeah, you're very competitive. That's one thing I do remember.
Welcome back to the Legacy of Ours, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Here we talking about, we just rekindling and everything like that. So we've been doing our lives and going about our different ways, and appreciate you staying tuned in with us. Like, subscribe, comment, and let us know how you feel. My bad. I had to throw that in there real quick.
No, we had to talk to the audience.
No,
yeah.
I mean,
he is very competitive.
Yeah.
Very competitive. I'm like,
losing.
yeah, I got this camera, and I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, I got the Sony XLR.
I'm still humble. I'm still a humble person. So when it comes to like competitive sports and stuff, I hate losing. I don't care if I've never played. Like we just went to Topgolf a couple days ago and stuff, and I see this guy. You can tell like he's been playing for a very long time because he's just hitting the ball like as if he's not trying to hit the ball hard, but he's launching this fucking thing.
Yeah.
And, like there's no fucking way I'm not gonna hit as far as him. So I'm over here in this game. I don't know if you guys ever been to Topgolf, but there's like little games that you can play and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not even focused on the game. I'm literally trying to hit this fucking ball as hard as I can.
Now, can you
anywhere?
Now, can you see? Like, I've never been there, so you can see the people next to you.
Yeah, you can say they're open bays and stuff.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay.
It's like right next to each other. And
It'd be funny if he kind of got your energy. And he's like, I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker. Like the same thing that you're doing. You guys are just smacking the shit. I played golf once.
But he don't say it. Like when he's in a competitive mode, he does not say anything. He looks. He's like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And he'll try and yeah. And then he'll look up at you, and you be like, oh, we. And then that's when it starts.
First time I played against Nelson in basketball and stuff, right? Nelson, D1 fucking basketball player, and I was like, all right, I never went to college, so I want to see how good I am.
Yeah.
Was playing on this fucking court that they had outside the barracks and shit. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't played in fucking forever. Like, years. And I'm like, I'm trying to go against this fucking dude that's really good at basketball. He's what? You're 6'3", 6'4",
Really?
6'4",
You're
yeah.
6'4"?
6'4", and he jumps like it's nothing to him. So I'm over here doing all my fucking moves and shit, and he's still keeping up. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that you're still here. Bro,
as soon as I got the ball, right, this man has no patience at all. You know how you just typically you have your high hand, you have your low hand. You sitting here, you trying to read the offense to see if a person's gonna pick and roll, go high or low, actually do the switch, the cut and run. Nah, he was the whole time he's like this on me. I'm like, bro, I don't even have the ball. Don't give a fuck. I'm like, bro, like, relax. Like, you're missing everything over here. He's like, nah, I'm worried about you. No. What? And then when I did score, he was sitting there. He was like, he'll get madder and madder and madder. And I was like, bro, like, calm down.
Bro, I hate fucking losing.
It's just a game. And he's like, nah, run that back. Run that back.
Now, do you guys have a local gym in the Army? Was it like that, like a place y'all went to as far as to play like recreational sports?
Oh yeah, you always have a gym that has like a basketball court or a tennis court or what is it, handball
or racquetball?
Yeah, racquetball. Yeah, my fault. But like you have a lot of recreational programs that actually provide different sports.
Yeah. Now, do you guys have mandatory like I assume like PT? Like, did you guys have to like always had scheduled days to go train or whatever, or is that all in the beginning?
What do you mean?
Like like the endurance and like the strength for your like, was that all like basic training, or did you guys have
every day?
Right, for basic, Or is this like every day for you guys? Like you
That's
guys
every
had to
day.
go into, you guys had to run, you guys had to do like lifting weight. Oh, okay.
That's every day.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know people like fell off. You know what I mean? That just like
Yeah.
didn't do
Well,
it.
I mean, it does come to a time where you do fall off and stuff, and that's for everybody, no matter
Oh,
how
okay.
in shape you are and stuff. Like there's a
Yeah.
time you will fall off, and
Yeah.
that's because you
If,
do so
'cause we-
much that.
because if you actually really, God damn it, if you actually really do a lot in the military and always subject yourself first to try and do something, like you're going to be
Yeah.
hurting, and you're going to see those people
Yeah.
that's sitting there like, hey, like I can't do this no more, type deal. If that
Mm.
makes sense, because
Yeah.
like I just ran 7 miles on Monday, and you want me to run
Damn.
13 or 12 on Tuesday, and then you want me
Holy
to
hell.
do this on fucking Wednesday, and you want me to get down do a rappel tower on Thursday and make sure I do this like little
Damn.
circuit or some shit like that, and then on Friday we're doing a closeout fucking run in the morning. Like, nah,
Is
after
that
a
why
while,
like most military guys are like in a CrossFit? Because CrossFit is more like that go, high reps, high everything. Then you run like X amount of miles and you come back and you do like a whole bunch of like pull-ups and then push-ups like the Murph and shit like that.
That's the opposite thing. And listen, guys, we look at officers and we're like, what the fuck are you doing? Go lift that heavy ass bar up and put it back down, and then we'll go to the next exercise. Your ass wants to do extra shit.
Really?
yeah,
That's an
they want
opposite.
you to do an obstacle course, finish it in 6 fucking minutes while sprinting at a
Yeah.
30 pace, and then make sure you have a whole kit running and doing a kit run. Nah, it's
Man.
it's a lot. But depending on where you go, I will say
Right.
that depending on where you go, because each place is different.
Mm.
It's
Wow.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets tough after a while,
Mm.
especially like for me, like I have, and Nettle knows, like I have lower lumbar bulging disc in my
Oh,
back.
okay.
Even in my
Now,
upper T spine, I have one. I have no cartilage in my fucking knees, so it kind of makes it
damn.
hard for me to play basketball, like how I really, really want to play basketball. So
Now, do you feel like they just talking on just like a personal level for you? Do you ever
okay,
feel like they took that from you? Like you enjoyed basketball, and I know you did your job. That was your job to do whatever the hell they wanted y'all to do. But now, like getting back, it's like, yeah, I did all that, but now I can't do what I love to do, and that's play basketball. Or do you just take it for like I was just doing my job, and this is what comes with it,
I wouldn't say it. I was just doing my job. It's more of a I'm satisfied from what I did. I've came to
Yeah,
peace with it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I made sure, and I did a lot of things that a lot of people don't get to do.
Right, right.
I'm one of the few or last few. Um, so that's what makes. Let me turn this down a little bit. That's what makes it satisfying knowing that what I've
Right.
done helped a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay. All right.
so it yeah diminishes like a lot of things I wanted to do, but
Sure.
it
Now,
is.
like for instance, like I figured they would be like on top of like your guys' like overall health. For instance, so you're talking about your lower back and shit. Like I would figure like that. I understand what you. I feel like with you having that issue, they'd be like, okay, let's get you to a specialist. Let's work on like whatever you can, so you can be a better soldier. Like I figure like that would
No,
make sense. It's
so
costly, but I feel like you're, especially like with your knees. Like okay, let's get that checked out. Like
so
that's
think about it like this: you have the NFL. Let me turn it down a little bit more. There we go. I think that's good right there. So you know how the NFL is, right? As
right,
soon as somebody gets hurt or stubs their toe or get turf toe, they're like, no, he cannot play. He's
right, right,
going to
right.
rehabilitation exercises. He's going to make sure he has everything he needs down the fucking line to make sure he's okay because he is a star player
Yeah,
or not even a star player. Like he just, you know what I mean? Like he's good.
right.
The Army side, I can't speak for anybody else or any other branches. But oh, you hurt? Here's some Motrin.
Damn.
Yep. Here's a
I'm like,
microphone.
I'm not on my fucking period, man. Like, I need to get an MRI or something,
Right.
man. Like,
The bone's sticking out right now. God damn it! I need to see somebody. Damn.
so I mean,
And it's crazy because this is exactly like happened to me. Like, obviously, I got out of the army. I was medically discharged and stuff. Uh, before I got to Alaska, uh, and being in Colorado and stuff, I was telling them like, "Hey, I'm having a lot of knee pain and stuff every time I do some type of a hard activity."
Yeah.
They didn't give me any MRIs or X-rays and stuff for 2-3 years, and it just the pain gradually grew. When I got to Alaska, being with Nelson and everything, I told him, I was like, "Man, I'm finally fed up with this bullshit. Like, I'm training, I'm busting my ass and stuff.
oh, he put in the
Pain
work
is,
too.
the pain is only getting worse.
Yeah.
Like, it gets to a point where I wake up in the morning and I have to continue to rub my knees, and like it's like the only way to warm them up before I can actually start walking.
Shit, I'm doing this shit right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing too. Like, that's why I have my arms up and stuff. But yeah, that's exactly how it is. Like, for me to sit for a long period of time and then like just get up and walk, it doesn't happen that way for me.
Yeah.
But again, like, got to Alaska, told the same thing. Whenever I got there, hey, I'm having knee pain. They didn't really care. They're like, here's physical therapy. Did physical therapy for 9 months. Told them, I was like, oh, it's making it worse, and like,
Yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah.
You're just a
I would say, knowing that you've got out, and this is a good point that you had brought up. Like, now that you're out and you have all of this, disability coming towards your way, for the people who are on that same path, that are getting out or med boarded or martued, what advice would you give to those people?
oof. And,
My bad. It's a loaded question. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drop it on you like that. But
well, it's not necessarily just like a loaded question, but it's a question that can't be really answered. Um, Now you're gonna have those individuals or those doctors that are actually gonna care and stuff, right? But then you're gonna have a lot of them that don't,
Yeah.
because either way, they're not gonna get fired. You can't sue them for
Yeah.
mal.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the only thing that worked for me is that I continue to go to my appointments. I continue to reschedule them and continue to schedule more appointments and stuff until they got annoyed by me and
Oh, I see. So that's I don't mean to cut you off. So that's all the legwork of you guys to set up appointments. It's not something that they're doing.
yeah.
Like, okay, like Nelson and Nieto are saying that they having issues. Let's get them scheduled. No, this is all y'all. So
No,
like
yeah,
you
it's all
keep
us.
going until you like make enough noise to say, all right, like we need to deal with this because he's not shutting up about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's crazy, like, because you have to prove it to the leadership. Because once you go to sick hall, which is basically our like our place where I don't even know how to fucking explain it.
it's kind of a place where you like, hey, I have this issue, and they're like, okay, cool, like we'll schedule you now that you came.
Is it
with
like
this
like
problem.
okay?
We'll schedule it, but you have to do the legwork to make sure that you get.
Oh, okay.
So for
that's
about
when
4 or 5 years, I was dealing with this knee pain, and they finally gave me some fucking visuals, which was an MRI, and they found that I had no ligaments in any of both my knees. I have a torn meniscus, or I'm sorry, no meniscus, torn Weisberg ligament. My ACL was apparently not attached.
Damn.
Yeah, I got the same shit, homie.
The femur bone
That's normal.
was too rounded over for both my knees from overuse, and it had no cartilage. So it was just a pile of things that they did, and then what the next thing that they did, which fucking made me laugh even more, they put me back in physical therapy.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
we gotta see if you're actually having issues
Yeah.
to make sure that you're not just complaining just to complain. We need to see if
Right.
you can be rehabilitated by physical therapy.
Yeah.
So in
I
other
want to say
words,
what I want to say because I don't want nobody coming after me. I don't
yeah,
know
they're
if I
about to
got
break in that
close to
door.
my house or anything. But nah,
They're like, "Shut up, motherfucker! You said too much. God damn it!"
yeah. But no, like it gets bad, and that's why I was asking. I was like, for those people who are getting out, and those people who do have those troubles, because I haven't got out, and I still have those troubles. Like how can set a yet specialist who is going through that pain, and how does it inflict with their life right now?
It's just gonna be frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna constantly prove to people that you are in pain, and if you are in pain, like it because I'm not gonna lie, because there are some soldiers that do like to fucking lie. You know,
Mhm.
it makes us look bad.
Wow.
So whenever you do actually get to prove it and stuff, it's that sense of relief. But I
Yeah.
mean, like, the only advice I can give somebody is, I know it's going to be frustrating. I dealt with it. Just keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even now, like me being out of the army and stuff, like I was just discharged June 18th. You know, now I'm dealing with the VA. So now I got to reprove myself to this
Mhm.
fucking decision that never met me and hasn't even read my fucking dictionary size fucking medical
Right.
papers.
Yeah.
That
You're a case in yourself. So let me ask you. So if you, I don't know if any of you guys watched that debate between Donald Trump and Biden, and
Ooh,
one big thing that I heard was like that Trump said was that like a lot of the veterans are being neglected based on wait times to see the VA, based on like getting the proper like care, like it got put on the back burner. So like it's a battle like already dealing with, like you said, in the service. And now you got to get out and try to work, and hopefully you can get seen and you're not put on the back burner as far as who you are, as like any issues
yeah,
you know
that,
what I mean?
I kind of I can't speak for everybody, but from my experience and stuff, um, it's been a little annoying.
Yeah.
I got out. The VA knows I have dependents. They're not paying me as if I had dependents. They're paying me as if I'm single. So I
Oh,
had to
damn.
resubmit my claims, which is fucking annoying because it's been an entire month and they still haven't
Hmm.
reviewed my claims yet.
Wow.
I don't know, man. Like I just that whole Donald Trump situation. Y'all can have it. I don't want no. I don't want no smoke at all. I ain't nobody coming after me sitting on the top of the roof trying to shoot my damn ear off. I'm good.
That's crazy. This message is brought to you by the Secret Service, though, where we always keep it safe. That's right. He's like, you guys can talk about this shit. I'm still in it, dude.
No, I mean it is. I mean, I don't know. Truth hurts, I guess.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy, man. I pray for you guys because yeah, like I'm a person looking in, and this is what you think you know about the service, you know, and then you really don't know shit about what's going on. So you know, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
My bad about the square on my eye. It's just trying to
That
capture.
autofocus.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, no, it's hard times we living in, man. Like
Did you guys catch the and I mean everyone knows this at this point, the France opening for the Olympics
Oh God.
caused major controversy? For those
Yeah.
who I mean, I don't
I mean,
so
I
here,
didn't see it, but I
me
saw.
neither. Do you know? So if for those who don't know, it was they did a mockery of the Last Supper. They call it the
No, they
Last
did.
Supper of trans men. I don't know. It was all trans men, and they had a oversized white woman as Jesus, and they had a guy come out on a platter, and he was covered in blue. When they slowed down the video or they paused it, there was a testicle of another guy behind him exposed. Okay. And then going biblical, they went and I think it was Revelation 8. The scripture goes on about a pale horse, and on the horse was a rider named Death, and he would bring a whole bunch of pain and famine on the earth. And I'm not quoting obviously word for word, but they had a horse running, a pale horse running with a man on top, which obviously would be Death. So this is what they did at the opening of the France Olympics. And so it got a lot of controversy, but they're actually going on and they are saying that it's copyright if you repost it. So they're trying to get rid of it. China banned it, that China won't have anyone see it. A lot of major companies like are boycotting now the Olympics. And now it's like even the French were like, holy shit, like we're gay. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to see this shit. And especially with the dude's like fucking scrotum out. It's literally hanging out the side of his fucking Speedo. We're like, holy shit, there's kids watching this thing, man. I'm supposed to see someone fucking playing basketball here in a minute. You know what I mean? So yeah, they went wild. That was nuts. I don't think that was a great move for them.
So you mean to tell me there was a sack
Yes.
hanging out
Still
the
find
side
that
of
photo right now. They've taken all the videos down, so you can't see it on X because the Olympics went and was saying it was copyright. So you can't find the videos anymore, but there are circling videos of everybody zoomed in. And yeah, this dude was hanging to his knees, man. It was crazy.
And actually, this brings a bigger picture, which, oh, fuck. So, with a lot of social media and how they're the media marketing and how people perceive it, like, what do you, because this shit wouldn't have happened in the 90s.
Oh, hell no.
But
Hell
so, like,
no.
what do you think have changed to allow that to happen?
You know, for a group of people that apparently goes through a lot of shit, depression, fucking like a bunch of shit, right? They bring in a lot of hate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's only getting worse. Like they want this. They got a holiday. They got a day. They got, you know what I'm saying? Like they got a bunch of shit. Everything's for them now. Like nobody can like basically like fuck with them. And all of a sudden now they're still bringing in more hate.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Dave Chappelle went through a whole bunch of shit with this group. And here's the thing. He made a good point. It's like, since when does your struggle come greater than even the struggle of black folk? I don't know. But you know what I mean? It's like they are like now the superior thing. You know,
not even just
you
black
can't
people,
fuck with them.
just people in general.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, you know, Dave was like, oh, you guys are doing the movement better than we are. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But yeah, you can't say shit or they cancel you. You know, but you guys are doing this like it's overly sexual. Like if you're gonna do that, fine. You know, but everybody's like always half naked and all this shit. And so it's like, and then they were dancing around kids on stage. One person was like carrying a kid dancing. It's like, fuck, this is not good for them, you know?
It's not.
But we've made it.
Where's the line of being pedophiles?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen that video where there's, I don't know who scheduled it, but some trans came into a middle school or some shit, and started dancing.
Oh, really?
And like was in this like bikini looking costume or some shit like that, and it was a dude.
Yeah.
That had his parts removed or anything, twerking in front of kids and stuff. So like where's that?
So now the thing is though, like we're adults at this point. And we see it happen, and it goes back to what I just said before. It takes a village to actually, feed a child or discipline a child. Like, so what are we actually doing to make sure like this shit doesn't happen? I mean, granted, yes, we can't fucking be at the Met Gala and make sure that it doesn't happen. But like at our level, like what are we doing to make sure it does not supersede our limits, if that makes sense? Like I don't understand, because I make sure I'm like, you ain't going out in that. Nope.
I know
You're not doing that.
I know. It's crazy. I think we have to figure out like not being afraid to just say like, "No, this is not acceptable." Like, yeah, I don't want your sack hanging out dancing around my kid. You know what I mean? Like, we have to be okay to like, yeah, we may not be liked, and I think that's the whole point of us doing this is going about like the dad's perspective and how things have changed. Like, obviously, we're all from like what 90s era, so
Yeah.
things are a bit different. But like, yeah, like not being afraid to speak up. Is that my mic doing that, or is that just me? I'm getting feedback. We good?
Yeah, I was like readjusting as well. Like I was turning my shit
Yeah, I
up.
wasn't sure if that was me, but yeah, but no, yeah, we can't be afraid to speak up, you know.
Yeah.
And that I think that's the start, like, you know, and I think that's why we're here, like talking about like how the changes from how our upbringing is to how it's changing now, and having that type of like conversation. No one wants to have the conversation because you're afraid that they're gonna come after me, you know, or whatever. We're not even us, your family. It's like, so I think that's where it's gonna kind of stop when we can be like, hey, quit that shit. No, that's not acceptable here. Like, get it in line a little bit. You know, we're gonna accept you, whatever you pay your taxes, fine, but you're not gonna overstep bounds because the kids watch everything.
The thing is, though, with that, to attest to what you're saying,
Yeah.
nobody wants to be on the forefront. Everybody is afraid of confrontation. Well, not everybody, but the majority of the people are afraid of confrontation. I know your ass is not.
Yeah,
You know,
I
I'm
know.
not talking to you, but like a lot of people are, and they don't understand. Like, hey, like, that's not like I said before. That's not okay. They'll look at it, see it, and be like, "Not my business."
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I am prone to do that because I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, my fucking business. I'm not
Right.
about to fucking go over there.
That's respectable too. I
But
mean,
as you know what I mean. But as for like children, I think we all need to come together as one to make sure that we are all have a safe space, no
Mhm.
matter what. Like even if your daughters or your sons came to me and was like, I don't know what to do, I would give them advice on it.
Right,
I
right.
don't even need to know them. I don't
Yeah,
even need to know them at all.
yeah,
But just knowing that I have that advice to give, that's all that's needed.
yeah,
Same thing with you, Neto. Like if any of them came to me and was like, I'm hungry, I'm not gonna be like, no, damn, that's crazy. Ask your dad.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that, but I'm basically providing for the community to make sure that we all are as one. Like, but today we don't do that. We just worry about our own. We're so focused on our lives to make sure that hey, I got what I need. I got what I need.
yeah,
Yeah.
But once you grasp everything, what about everybody else?
yeah,
All right. So how do we get the community back together? I mean, that's the question, right?
yeah.
So how do we get our neighbors involved?
Hmm.
You know, because I live in I live with my parents at the moment, but we're in a very quiet neighborhood. There's hardly any kids out, and we're down the street from a high school. You know, back when I was growing up, uh, we were always outside playing fucking basketball and shit, and
Yeah.
playing football, whatever sport there was, and we were just making noise. But everybody knew like these kids were part of the neighborhood and stuff. Everybody knew who was who. So how do we do that again? Like how do we bring those parents back?
I think it starts by just being a genuine person, honestly. Because like I said before, everybody's worried about their own lives and not they're everybody's so tunnel vision rather than looking at the broad scope of things.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard to oh shit.
Somebody shooting?
Yeah, I was like, ah.
Oh,
You said too much, God damn it.
but but no, like it makes it hard when somebody's so focused on their life
Yeah,
to make sure that anything and everything around you is okay because you're so focused on
yeah,
me, rather than we.
yeah. I feel like it's got to get super bad. It's got to get really bad for everybody to feel that, you know what I mean? Like, man, this is really affecting, like, the kids have to start to change, and everyone's got to notice, like, damn, what the fuck, like, what's going on? We all been neglecting, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think it has to get bad for people to really wake up to see it, and then it's just a journey to kind of get back to it. But we all got to be able to, like, you know, speak up. But that's like the fear, like, no one wants to get, you know, no one wants no backlash. Everybody, like, we got enough things going on. Like, you're like, oh, is it time for me to be an advocate for this right now? I'm just trying to pay the mortgage, you know, I'm trying to survive. And it's like, I don't know if it's worth me being an advocate right now for it.
Right.
And so, yep.
No, that's I mean, I completely agree. I completely agree. But again, like, that's the question. Like, how are we going to bring everybody back together? Like, everybody sees it. Everybody's witnessing it. Nobody wants to make that change.
Yeah.
It's like what little Michael said, you know? Yeah, change the main.
Sorry, not
That might be-
no, it's, ladies and gentlemen, Drew's going to do the honors of the outro for us.
Taking us out.
For the legacy of ours.
All right. Well, we thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you can connect with us and kind of just see our points. You know, we're open to everybody's ideas and points, but getting a perspective of fathers and men growing up. We appreciate you guys for staying with us. We appreciate the support. We're going to keep coming back strong. We're going to keep knocking these out. We'll get merch going and getting you guys involved and connected. We want to hear from you guys. So in the comments, what do you want to hear? What do you want us to talk about? And kind of throw us for a loop, because we were here for the challenge. So thanks to you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Like,
yeah.